start to do a bit of work on this very tip here. And I'm going to go in kind of gentle at first. How's that pressure there, Gerardo? Good? The hand in the face say a lot, you know? So I'm just going to warm it up very, very gentle. And both his inner and his outer thumb band are tight. I'm just doing like a very preliminary first run over, because normally I'd spend quite a lot more time at the very tip, but I'm just wanting him to just get in the mood of receiving. That's about where I end with a chopstick. A little bit deeper this time. Okay, breathe into it. Very important when we're working with a chopstick to understand what we're actually doing here is bringing awareness to where the person's tight and then them actually breathing into it and letting it go. Not just poking somebody. I'm going to come over the other way. Very tight in this one. Always when we're working on this spot, we don't want to go into the nail bed itself. It's a very sensitive spot, and it's the end point for this tension that's coming through here, which is then going to contribute to both of these. Deeper this time. And then we're going to have a quick run over through here. So I'm going to be working in this line, coming into this area here. Oh. So let me know if that's too light. Just hold it, let him breathe into it.
Oh, God damn.
What would a person's thumb feel like if they were, say, just kind of done the excavation process? Can you push fairly hard and it doesn't hurt that
Yeah.
much?
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it.
Because when you push, you're not bringing awareness to an energetic blockage, or which is the underlyingness of tightness. That's not quite proper English, but
So the band would also be the whole body would show
yeah, it would just give. So when you push, it gives. You know.
Oh.
Whereas with tightness, which is a symptom of energetic blockage, it pushes back at you. Unless they deep breathe with you, in which case you're pushing it and then they're breathing it out. Yeah. So he seems to be very tight on this part of his thumb.
Oh.
That's the inner thumb band you're working on?
Yeah, so it's part of the inner thumb band. I call these micro bands, as I was mentioning, and the inner thumb band is particularly coming into here, but this one also comes in and makes part of that inner thumb band. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you're always looking for which, in his case, I'd say it's both of them that are creating the tightness. So that's often what I call a first run.
Oh no.
Because he's so enthusiastic. So I can hold that end, what I call the end point. Should be there. Sometimes it's going to end, it's going to also be here a bit. And just bring his awareness to it, and then, like I said, just gently stimulate it.
Gently, right?
Gently. Mm-hmm. Gently is the operative word in most of what I do. I understand what people like to have what we call in Australia a good whinge about everything, you know?
A good what?
Whinge, which is like a whine, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but in Australia it's called whinging.
Oh.
They used to call the British people whinging Poms, because Pom is a word for, comes from prisoner of Mother England. They used to have that imprinted on the back and they got sent out from whinging Poms. So they'd always be complaining about everything. But I understand it's therapeutic to have a good whinge, which you can see he is.
Oh, I start sweating.
Instead of just saying, thank you so much, Brandon, I really appreciate what you're doing. Look, I'm the same as you know.
Right.
I understand the therapeutic benefit of whinging. So I'm just getting in deeper, and each time I'm getting 10 or 20% out, and then I can get in even deeper. And so here I'm supporting his thumb with my leg, and then so I can get into that spot. Actually, my own hand's tight. And then I'm going to twist his thumb a little bit just to get in there a bit more.
Oh. Oh.
And as that lets go, then I proceed further. I'm quite happy with how things are going. They're definitely letting go.
So do you feel it, like loosen just
Oh, yeah.
a little bit?
Yeah. Each time, 10%, 5%.
Sometimes I wonder when to do the jiggle because it's really intense, but
If you
I think
if
I
you
was
start
shying away
kind
from
of
maybe
jiggling
the
here
intensity.
and it doesn't let go, you know you need to come back here. Even if you can't feel it, because you can't really feel it physically here. You've got to be able to tune into the energy here. But here you can feel it physically. You know, you can flick over it as a mini vein. You know? But you know if it's like, it's just not letting go, it's held further up.
So
So-
it actually moves back and forth even if it's, before you started, was it kind of solid?
Yeah, so it's just,
It
it
wouldn't
moved,
even,
but,
like, move.
but not very
Okay.
well. Yeah, now it's moving softer. But each time I'm just getting in, and even now I'm just going in a bit deeper, another 20% deeper. But you can see he's not even reacting as much as he was before because we're getting rid of what I call the charge. And again, English just doesn't have very good words for what we're describing here. So we're having to use words like charge.
just gonna have to make up your own words, Brandon.
Yeah.
The Raynor glossary.
That's right.
Yeah.
We already got fucked up. Now we got whinging.
Whinging.
I've adopted that from the Australian. I like the word charged because it implies that it's a more of a subtle energy, you know? Like how electricity is still there, but it's subtle, or air is there even though you can't see it. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? And yet air can be very powerful.
Same
Yeah,
with
it's wind,
electricity.
tornadoes, you know? Electricity is very powerful, but you can't, you know,
Yeah.
see it.
It's like, oh, this is a high voltage spot.
Yeah, so that's right, yeah. That's it. So just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Even like sonar, radar, Wi-Fi, you know? I mean, our whole society now, we live on Wi-Fi, you know? Can't see it.
Yeah, people should be ready to understand all this.
Yeah, exactly. Of course we got subtle.
Right?
Yeah.
It'll be exciting the next time I talk to it.
The idea that human sight is somehow all knowing is ridiculous, you know? Human sight is very limited. Which is why I always say blind people, in a lot of Asian countries, blind people were the best massage therapists because they develop another sense.
There's a blind guy in Prince George that was interested in doing massage.
Oh.
This is really charged.
Oh.
Just let him know, like,
This is one of the biggest spots I feel that's catching him on his inner. So I'm going to come back a bit because it's so charged in there. I'm like, okay, let's come back another notch for another spot and see if this is going to help.
he
It's
just went a bit higher
charged.
up.
Yeah, because it's just so charged just before this joint. And this is a common spot right before this first joint, just above it. But again, if that's not releasing, which is just really tight in there, then we come back and we go, okay, maybe it's right in here. And he's agreeing, but we could even, he's got a little bit of moisture on his skin, so I can actually do a bit of sliding. I wouldn't slide with really dry skin or with a real beginner, because it does feel a bit like you're cutting, but of course we're not. We're cutting through tension. And this way, we're not missing any spots between here and here. Okay? And I often really pay attention to this bit as we curve.